This conference will now be recorded.
So yesterday we have discussed about introduction of software testing, and we do have discussed about what could be the benefits of software testing, and if the early testing has, yeah. So early testing was not being conducted on an application or the product. What are all the consequences are going to face? Consequences in the sense the client will be losing his amount and also the business. Okay. And also many more the things, he would be losing his reputation in the market, so like that. So that is the reason the role of a tester is very important for any type of project or the application. So that is the reason it was introduced in the early 90s itself. Okay, so we do have discussed about few real-time examples. So because of that only the industry has agreed and it was accepted that testing is very important. It was again came into the picture. And so we discussed about what about the course content and what are the things I'm going to explain in upcoming classes. And we do discuss about the defect management tool, so and so all. So today I'm going to discuss about one sample requirement has given for us, for our testing team. Okay, so for that, how I'm going to derive the test scenarios, and then I'm going to write the test cases in an overall way. Okay, so that you can understand generally what we will do exactly in our daily as per the daily routine as a tester. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. So guys, let me know when you can see the screen. Able to see my screen? Okay, yeah, thank you, Sirisha. So in real time, okay, for every release, we do have requirements will be there. So those requirements will be given by the business analyst. Okay, business analysts are the people who create the requirements, because they will sit with the client and they try to understand the business, okay, client's business, and they will understand the client's requirements and they will prepare the business requirement document, okay, or software requirement document, and any other project related information documents or any other understanding documents. So they will not give all the business requirement document all at a time. Okay, so when the project comes into our company, what will happen? So they will try to divide those requirements. For example, 100 requirements are there. Just assume that 100 requirements are there. So 100 requirements they will not at a time give it to our team. Team in the sense not only the testing team, all other technologies also, the development, the database, and all other technologies. Okay, so for that they would be dividing those 100 requirements into releases. Okay, generally a release duration could be 45 days to 2 months, it will be there. Okay, so in that 45 days to 2 months, okay, our development people and our testing team people, okay, we would be doing our regular task. First, what will be happening if the release was identified? For example, assume that we are in April release. Okay, our release was started at March 1st. Okay, and we are going to end our release in April 25th. Okay, assume that. Okay, so we were working in April 25th release, April release. Okay, for this April release, six requirements are there. Okay, so 6 requirements also, once it was decided by the business analyst as well as on-site counterpart, or and from the client also. Okay, they are the business analyst people are the people who prioritize the requirements, which requirements has to go first and which requirements has to come into the next release. Okay, so once the requirements are finalized for this release, okay, assume that 6 requirements are finalized for this release, for our April release. So what our test lead will do, okay, assume that our testing team has Sirisha, Sandhya, and Lakshmi. Okay, 3 resources are there. So Sirisha and Lakshmi, they are into freshers, means very less experience, 1 year experience, and assume that Sandhya has the 5 years of experience. So what my test lead will do, okay, he will assign one requirement to Lakshmi and Sirisha, and he will give 2 requirements to the Sandhya. Okay, as she has the experience, as she can handle the things, and she has the capability to do that. And other 2 requirements also, okay, lead will take care of it, or if any other resource is there from our testing team, he would be assigning it to them. Okay, so once this requirement allocation was done by the by the test lead. Okay, so as part of our daily job, as a tester, I will take the requirements. Okay, so the requirement also, it will be in the form of our Word document only. Okay, our this BA people also prepare requirement document in this Microsoft Word document, or else they will maintain these requirements in the shared folder. Okay, shared folder means how our folder is there in our computer, same the thing, it's a shared folder. People who are working into that project can only have this access to that folder. So in that folder, all the project related documentation will be there. Okay, project related documents, developers they can access, and testers they can access, and BAs can access. BAs in the sense business analyst. Okay, so soon after, if you click open that shared folder, you can see different folders. Okay, for development team they would be maintaining some separate folder. So for testing team we would be maintaining separate folder. So as a tester, we will be opening that testing folder. So in that, requirements, okay, releases and test cases, uh, test scenarios, or any other documentation. So these, like these, separate set of folders will be there in that shared folder. So if you can open the requirement folder for our particular release, you need to open the April release folder. Okay, generally the folder structure will be maintained like this. Okay, every release, the folder will be maintained like this, okay, by the test lead or by the test manager. Okay, for the proper documentation, even for proper tracking of that. So I will be opening the requirement which was assigned to me. Okay, so that requirement will be in the form of Microsoft Word document. Okay, so in the requirement, generally, whatever the application which we were doing, okay, what is the existing application, means what is the existing functionality for that, okay, and what is the upcoming functionality which they were trying to do. Okay, if needed, if available, they will provide screenshots, or else they will provide the description. Okay, what has to be done, what could be the business conditions, what are all the things as a tester you have to verify, and everything they will provide you. Okay, if while studying that requirement document, if you got any doubt, okay, so you need to be in touch base with BAs, means you need to set up a call with business analyst, or else, okay, weekly 3 days or 2 days we would be having a call with business analyst. Okay, we can ask business analyst to give you a walkthrough on that particular requirement, or whatever the queries which you have, you can ask in the at the time of meeting when you schedule a call with the business analyst. Okay, so either of the way you can do it, or else if meeting kind of thing is not there in your project, then you can send an email to the business analyst by looping your test lead as well as your testing team, so that your test lead also, he can get an awareness like, okay, Sandhya was going to this requirement, she has these doubts, so she was asking to the business analyst. Okay, he will also know that, okay, I'm working on this requirement, and I was making some movement for that requirement. Okay. So once the requirement analysis was completed, okay, I am going to derive test scenarios. Okay. So to write the test scenarios, first of all, I need to be in a understandable requirement. That requirement has to be properly understood to me. Then only I'm going to write the test scenarios. Okay. So once the test scenarios are completed, test cases I have to write in a test case template. Test case template will be in a Excel spreadsheet. Okay. So whatever we have discussed till now, I'm going to let you know everything step by step. Okay. Assume that we were working on Gmail login page. Okay, so assume that we were validating, okay, this Gmail login page, username as well as password. Okay, so my requirement will be, assume that my requirement will be written like this. Okay. Okay, so as we know that Gmail login application, I'm not providing any other description. Okay, but in real time you are going to work on a new application. So for that, BAs will be providing necessary description for it. Okay, what you have to do and what's there in it. Okay, so once the requirement has given, they will be giving navigation. Okay, so the project which we are going to work is Gmail, and the requirement is ensure that Gmail login page should work with all possible valid and invalid inputs. Okay, so navigation. What is the navigation? Means navigation or the business flow. Okay, so user can navigate to the URL and click on sign in. User has to enter username and password. Click on sign in. User should go to the Gmail box. Okay, so assume that like this the requirement document will be provided with the description as per the requirement. Okay, so as a tester I have to create the test scenarios for it. Okay, so as a tester what I will do, Okay, so verify whether here what are all the things I'm going to work. I'm going to work only on Gmail login page. Okay, login page with possible valid and invalid inputs. Login page in the sense, login page means username and the password. Okay, we are going to verify those two fields. Okay, these two fields. Okay, email, and if we click on next, password will be there. So these two text fields we are going to test as per the requirement. Okay, so we need to write the test scenarios. Okay, verify whether user able to log in with valid username and valid password. Okay, what could be the second scenario? Invalid username and invalid password. Okay, the third scenario could be valid username and invalid password. Fourth scenario could be invalid username and valid password. Fifth scenario could be, okay, like this. Sixth scenario could be so guys, are you getting what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to validate that particular functionality Gmail login page with multiple test scenarios. I'm going to validate that particular functionality with multiple scenarios. Okay, so we all know that if we can provide the valid username and valid password, we can able to log into the Gmail box. So this is the positive condition. Okay, so all these are, I mean, while we are giving invalid username and invalid password, with valid username and invalid password, with invalid username and valid password, okay, by keeping the blank username. So all these things will be, okay, comes into negative scenario. So that is the reason. Okay, yesterday's class I told you, if we want to validate a particular functionality or an application, a tester has to test with negative condition also, negative test scenarios also. Okay, so in this way we can validate our application in a proper way. Okay, for example, I'm just giving, okay, I'm just giving this is my valid username, and I'm clicking on next. Okay, and I'm giving, okay, valid password. See, first test case was, okay, it was done, means it was passed, I'm able to log in, means your first test case was pass. What is the second test case? I need to provide the invalid username and the invalid password. Okay, what I will do, okay, I will give this, okay, I'm just giving invalid username. Okay, I'm clicking on next. See, here, as I have given invalid password. See here itself, I got this error message highlighting this text box in the red color. And it is not allowing the user to go to the next page also. Okay, so these sort of the things you need to ask with the BA. Means, okay, you have provided, we have to test this Gmail login page with all the possible valid and invalid inputs. If we provide invalid input in the username field, any error message the system will throw or the application will throw on the screen. Okay, so if they provided, that is well and good. If they did not provide, we need to ask them, okay, which type of error message will throw it on the screen. Okay, so these type of queries, these type of clarifications, it will come when we deeply analyze the requirement. So requirement understanding is the key role. It will takes place in our tester role. Okay, if we understand the requirement only, we can do any of the things. Okay, we can able to properly write the test scenarios, and we can do proper testing on the application. Without knowing the requirement, we are not able to make justification as a tester, right? So that is the reason. Okay, in generally they will provide all the details, but in some cases, if they did not given the proper information, or if their communication, or if their English is not that much up to the mark, and if you did not understand those things in a proper way, no harm in asking the questions. We can ask our queries. They are for us. Okay, business analysts are there for us. Okay, we can ask the questions. We have the right to ask the questions. Okay, we can get in touch with them. We can use the platforms like at the time of meetings, or we can send an email, or separately we can schedule a call with business analysts based on their availability. We can check all these things. Okay, this is the way we have to derive the test scenarios. Okay, any doubt here? Please let me know so that I can show you how to write the test cases. Okay, yeah. So if you want to write the test cases, generally for any project or for any company, they would be maintaining test case template. Okay. Okay, so basically this is a test case template. Okay, company to company and project to project, this test case template may vary. Just only few columns addition or deletion. Okay, so this is the standard test case template. Okay, so in some companies they will be having a one more column. Okay, requirement also. Okay, so one requirement. What is our requirement? Okay, ensure that this one copy and paste here. Okay, and what is the test case title or test scenario? Okay, we can take this as test case title. Okay, okay, what is the precondition? Precondition means, see, for example, if you want to on a TV, what you need to have, you need to have a remote with batteries in it, so that you can able to on the TV. Okay, and this is the precondition. Okay, so likewise for this also, user should have, sorry, URL has to be accessible in the browser. Okay, so test, I mean, this application URL has to be accessible in the browser. Then only we can able to get this login page. Okay, okay, test step number, what is the test step number 1? Okay, now description or actual steps, how you are going to write the description. Okay, as we were doing this particular scenario. Okay, so what you will do generally, okay, you would be launching the URL. Okay, you would be launching the URL, launch the application URL. After launching the application URL, what is the expected result? Okay, URL should be accessible to the user. Accessible to the user means it is not providing any error or anything. Okay, you can able to see the UI screen. UI in the sense, this screen, this front-end application you can see. Okay, after that, what you are going to do, what is the second step? Okay, you can able to see this sign-in page. Okay, after clicking on use an account, we are seeing this sign-in page. Okay, sign-in page should be displayed. Okay, as a third step, what you are doing, you have to enter valid user ID. Okay, so give, enter user ID and click next. After clicking on next, what the system has showed me, it has navigated to the password page. Okay, so you have to write password page should be displayed. Okay, so here what you are going to do, you have to give the valid password, enter valid password and click next. Okay, after clicking on next, what was happened? Okay, so user should able to log into Gmail box. Okay, this is the expected one. So like this, you have to write your test cases. Okay, got it? Means you are explaining that particular test scenario. You are explaining that particular test scenario. Okay, in the form of detailed description. What you are doing, actual step means whenever you are doing something manually from your keyboard. Okay, and Expected result means what the system is showing. Okay, expected result from the screen or from the system is, see, you have launched the application URL in the browser. So what is expected result? URL has successfully accessed by the browser. And after clicking on one option or one button or one link, where it was navigating to some page, means here sign in page. Okay, after that you are entering some user ID and you are clicking on next. Okay, after clicking on next, where it is navigating to the password page. Okay, see, all this column, this expected result column is the system was showing us. Okay, the system on what basis, on what the input or what the user was doing, accordingly how the system is reacting. Okay, all these things are system output messages, not the messages how the system is responding. So all these things are like that, means expected result. Okay, and enter valid password and click next. User should be able to log into the Gmail box. So this is how we have to write the test case. Okay, might you have understood the difference between the test scenario as well as test case. Test scenario means we were extracting the possible conditions to validate a particular functionality or to validate a particular requirement. Okay, and test case is nothing but we were writing the detailed steps like how to test and what to test. Okay, this is the fair understanding, fair difference between the test case and test scenario. Okay, got it? And similarly, we have to write the test cases for all other test scenarios. I'm sorry. Guys, you're getting right what I'm trying to say here. If you did not get anything, please ask me. I'll try to explain one more time. No harm in that. Okay, here you are providing the invalid username and the invalid password. So again you have to perform, again you have to write all these steps. Launch application URL, what you are doing, and what are the things it was coming. Okay, suppose you have given invalid username. Okay, I have given invalid password and I clicked on next. So what was happened? Could not find your Google account. Okay, so system should display could not find your Google account message on the screen. This is expected for us. Okay, see, the application has to be secured enough. It should not allow the invalid credentials or anything. Okay, it has to accept only the valid credentials. This is the way we are providing the security to our application. And which type of error message it has to display. Okay, everything will be given provided in the requirement document. They'll be letting us know, okay, if you have provided valid credentials, what it will do, means what the system will do. If you have provided the invalid test data, means the username or the password, anything, if you have provided invalid or wrong, Okay, what sort of error messages that system should display. Everything it will be provided in the requirement document. Like this, you have to write the test cases. Tirlo, is that clear? Sirisha, Lakshmi, Suma, please respond. Sorry, my throat is not at all good. I'm just keeping on mute in between. Okay, this is the way you have to write the test scenarios and test cases. And how to raise the defect. What is the defect? Okay, for example, okay, here you are executing the test case. Okay, whenever, even though you have provided the valid user ID and valid password, actually, as per the requirement, you need to log into the Gmail box. You need to log into the Gmail box. But when you are doing the test execution, you caught with one error on the screen. Okay, so that you are going to raise as a defect. Whenever actual steps means this actual step, okay, and this expected result, these both steps are not matching, then we can consider it as a defect. This particular test case is failed, means this is functionally it is not working fine. Assume that if you even you have provided valid username and valid password, okay, you are not able to log into the Gmail, and assume that you got with one error. Okay, so this is the way you have to identify the defects. Okay, as per the requirement, you need to log into the Gmail box. But in current system, when you are doing the test execution, you are not able to proceed further. Because you got one error. So these things you have to provide, you have to raise it as a defect, and you have to assign it to the developer. Okay, why? Because only the developer is a person, he is creating the requirement. Okay, he is developing the requirement. This is the way you have to perform your test. Okay, till now we have created the test scenarios and test case, right? We will see how to perform the test execution also. Test execution means nothing, we have to open one Microsoft Word document. Okay, see what you are executing here. You are executing test case number 1. Okay, you had to give that test case title, and you have to follow each and every step that you have. Okay, first of all, you have to launch the URL. After launching the URL, take the screenshot. Okay, just give it here. After that, what you are doing, okay, you are entering the username. Okay, take the print screen and paste it here and click on next. What it will happen? Okay, password screen will be displayed. Okay, enter and valid password. Okay, and take the screenshot. Click on next. Okay, here whenever you are clicking on next, okay, if you caught with the error, okay, something, assume that, okay, if you caught with error, okay, take that screenshot also. Okay, let me show you. Okay, for your understanding, I'm just taking this screenshot. Okay, means assume that after clicking on password next button, As per the requirement, you need to log into the Gmail box. But what was happening actually, you caught with this runtime error. Okay, take this print screenshot. Okay, take that screenshot and paste it here. Okay, so that developer can understand, okay, after performing these steps, okay, in this area means after given the password and click on next, okay, user means the tester got this error. Okay, he can understand the flow, what was happened detailedly. We are giving the print screen and these steps, right? So that is the purpose of taking the screenshots, even for defect reporting, even for test execution also. For both the cases, the screenshots are important. Without that, how people can believe you, right? So that is the reason these test screenshots acts as a test evidences for all of us. For all of us means for our testers, basically. Okay, 1 second, guys. I'm running out of battery. I'll just keep it. Yeah, I'm back. So this is the way you have to take the screenshots. Okay, for every test case, you have to take one separate Microsoft Word document, and you need to paste all the screenshots so that people will understand, okay, for this particular requirement, for this particular release, these many test cases, and this is the flow the testers has followed, so that they can understand, okay, this was done, this was done. Okay, even for the defect tracing also. Okay, so you need to take the screenshots, you need to give it to the developer. Means in our defect management tool, we have to attach these screenshots while raising the defect. I will let you know whenever we were discussing the defect management tool, but try to understand for now. We need to provide the test screenshots while passing the test case, as well as we have to attach these test screenshots in the test lab. Okay, we are going to upload the test cases in the defect management tool. How to upload, where to upload, what is test plan and test lab, everything I am going to discuss in our uh, upcoming classes. But for now, try to understand, this is the way we have to write the test cases. We have to analyze the requirement like this. Okay, we have to write the test cases in this way. Got it? Any doubts here? Guys, any doubts here? Let me know so that I can guide you. Yes, of course, Lakshmi. We will be provided this recording in the WhatsApp group. In yesterday's session also, the people has provided you, right? So similarly, today's session also provided to you guys, to everyone. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay then. So tomorrow we will start our regular classes as per the course content. Okay. So meanwhile, just try to get exposure on all the things so that you would be having a fair understanding what we are going to discuss in our class. Okay. Okay guys, yeah, thank you, have a good day. We'll meet you tomorrow. Thank you all, bye.